Hi, good evening. This is Stan Matthews here from Everlasting Life Restaurant in Capitol Heights, Maryland. On tonight, I am celebrating the Big 5-5, and I want to thank everyone, all of my LinkedIn leaders, my Facebook family, and my Twitter nation for all of the greetings, all of the wonderful birthday wishes that was shared with me on this day and are still coming in. I could think of no better way to spend the day than with you, the greatest audience in the world, those people who are in conversation with me about this thing called life. And so I am overjoyed this evening to be here doing the Dream Life broadcast here at Everlasting Life. My partner, Dr. Herman Pryor, is not here with me tonight. He's attending a graduation in the great state of South Carolina. A family member is getting their PhD tonight, and we send best wishes to her. And we thank Dr. Pryor for being such a dedicated family member. What is the purpose of the Dream Life broadcast? Very simply put, all of us have a vision of the future that we desire. That is our big dream. All of us have a dream for the future. I don't care what age you are, there is a preferred image that you see in the daytime, that you see in your sleep, in your moments of contemplation, your big dream. And so what we do each week here from Everlasting Life, or as we call it, E-Life Restaurant, is we will focus in on helping you to clarify, get passionate about, and be held accountable for achieving that big dream. Dr. Pryor will be doing assessments of your dream, helping you to create a plan, and then working with you if you desire to implement that plan. So this Dream Life broadcast is coupled with life lessons that you will be hearing from Dr. Pryor and I, that we have learned ourselves and that we have learned from others who have great wisdom and who we both admire. Tonight, I want to talk about two things, two life lessons worth learning. The first is connected to your dream. And so my recommendation to all of you is that think big and then think even bigger. Think big and think even bigger. When Dr. Martin Luther King attended Morehouse University, his father was one of the best known preachers in the South. And no one had heard of Martin Luther King Jr. at that time. And so he never thought that he could bring the word of the gospel like his dad. And so young Martin decided that he was going to be a poet. So we would have never heard the I Have a Dream speech if he had gone down that route. And so the great headmaster of Morehouse asked him one day, "Young Mr. King, what is your dream?" And he said that he wanted to be an educator or a poet. So Dr. Mays asked him, "Aren't you interested in bringing the word of the gospel? Your family is just so excellent at spiritual things." And he said, "I could never do what my daddy does." And so Dr. Mays shared with him, "Young Mr. King, the essence of sinning against God is not to try your best and to fail. The essence of sinning against God is low aim." And that is where I begin tonight. The essence of sinning against God is not to try your best and to fail or to fall short. Low aim, settling for the inconsequential, settling for the frivolous, settling for the mediocre, when you can get it all, right? So our recommendation to you tonight is think big and then think even bigger. I have a good friend who is the Senior Vice President for Sales for all of West Asia, also known as the Middle East, and Africa for IBM Corporation. And he and I have an agreement based upon his life story and his life vision and mission. And my friend's position is, don't call me about small things. If you don't have a huge idea, share it with someone else. And that is my friend's view. And so he lives by a simple credo: go big or go home, right? And so this man has reached the pinnacle of success in computing sales, has worked all over the globe, owns a home in West Orange, New Jersey, and also in Belize, where he enjoys it with his wonderful wife and his family. And his life lesson for us to learn is go big or go home. So I repeat, think big and then think even bigger. Just want to share with you a number that I use a lot. I call New York City to Washington, D.C. the Prosperity Corridor. The Prosperity Corridor. Why do I call it that? Because between New York City and Washington, D.C., urban consumers, brown and black, English speakers, Spanish speakers, French speakers, a variety of African tongue speakers, we spend into the economies of New York State, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland $153 billion or more a year. So if you have a business thought to create a communications company, and that company can have a network that only covers these 5 states in what I call the Prosperity Corridor, you would be operating in a market of $153 billion. Now, $153 billion is the 2017 numbers, according to the Nielsen report, and also according to the U.S. Department of Labor and the University of Georgia Business School study on what they're calling the diverse economy. So that is 2017. We know 2018 is even higher, and we know 2019 is even going to be higher than that. So why settle for building a $1 million company in an environment like that, in an opportunity like that? Why settle for a $5 million idea? Go bigger. Think about a $100 million company. We can look at individuals in our own community who have served as role model on this concept of think big and then think even bigger. One example on the left coast is the person the world knows as Dr. Dre, who just sold 4 years ago his headset device to a major corporation for $2.5 billion and became a billionaire. He thought about those headphones that he created at a very high level. He didn't think about it just as, oh, I'm just going to sell it to 10 of my friends and maybe we'll get some people to buy one, and one of these days we'll be able to live just above survival level. He thought about, what if everyone in the country could be wearing one of these devices on their head. And so I think it's that little B on the side of it, Eladio. What is it called?
Beats.
The Beats. He sold the Beats and became a billionaire, right, on just that one sale. And so I want to say to all of us that when you set out to do anything, think big and then think even bigger. Second life lesson we want to share with you tonight is that your expectation and your reality live at the same address. Your expectation and your reality live at the same address. What do I mean? When you turn on the television, if you turn to CNN, you expect to see news. If you turn to ESPN, you expect to see sports. So when you turn your mind to a reality that is low or mediocre or negative, that is what you're going to get. But if, on the other hand, you turn your mind to a reality that's uplifting and inspiring to others and enriching and prosperous, that is what you're going to get. How many times have you woken up in the morning and said, this is going to be a bad day? And you got exactly what you expected. Your expectation and your reality live at the same address. They do indeed live at the same address. All of us have heard about this concept that's all the rage now called quantum physics. Why am I mentioning quantum physics? Well, quantum physics is proving that your expectation and your reality live at the same address from a scientific basis. What do I mean? Quantum physicists have broken down the atom all the way down to its most microscopic particle. It's called a quark. Q-U-A-R-K. Quark. This is the smallest particle that is inside of an atom. You need a special microscope to see it. This is the basic particle of all life reality. Now I'm going to tie it in with your expectation and your reality live at the same address. Prior to the discovery of quantum physics and its basic particle, the quark, we had a Newtonian view of the world. What did Isaac Newton say? Whatever you see was always there and it's unchanging. The environment is already set, the world is already set, and so we are just merely observers. This is not what quantum physicists have just found out. When you look with that microscope at the most basic particle of reality called a quark, it's interesting what you see. This particle reflects back to the viewer whatever the viewer desires. It is the most amazing particle. So if the viewer thinks green, the quark turns green. If the viewer thinks red, the quark thinks red. If the viewer thinks happy, it reflects back happiness. So what quantum physicists are now finding out is that the Newtonian view of the world, that the world is what it is and we can't do anything about it, is not God's reality. God's reality is that we have a determinative role in our life reality. What we think is everything. As a man or woman thinks in their heart, so is he. The Bible says, in the tongue there is life and death. The book of Mark says, whatever you stand praying, believing will be yours. So we have a determinative role in our reality. As the great Les Brown says, don't be like Thomas. I have to see it before I believe it. Les says, no, you must believe it and then you'll see it. You've got to say, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, this is what I want. Your expectation and your reality live at the same address. I highly recommend that you try that for yourself on tomorrow. On tomorrow, get very still in the morning. See every meeting that you are going to have that day and visualize the best outcome in that meeting before it even happens. Use what I call an acronym I created called the DEB effect, DEBAFEC. And what does that mean? I decide in my envisioning process in the morning, I decide what I'm wanting for that day. Then I envision it very, very clearly. Then I believe it as if it's already happened. And then I say it. I affirm it as if it's already happened. Then I feel it in my heart very deeply as if this has already occurred. And then I expect that this is going to happen. And then I even celebrate it a little bit so that I lock in that outcome that I'm desiring for the day. Try it for yourself. Get in a quiet place before you do anything tomorrow and see everything that is going to happen in your day tomorrow on Fabulous Friday and think about the best possible outcome for it. Decide what you want. See it in your mind. Believe it. Affirm it with your tongue. Feel it deep in your heart. Expect that that thing that you're desiring is going to happen exactly like that for you. And then celebrate it a little bit. Wow, I'm going to have a great meeting with my supervisor. I'm going to have a great meeting with this client that I'm about to see. I am going to land that client tomorrow that I've been desiring for the last year and a half. I'm going to run 5 miles in 30 minutes at the gym tomorrow. I'm going to just absolutely blow everything that I've planned away and see it in advance and feel it and celebrate it. You might be surprised that exactly what you decided, exactly what you saw, exactly what you believed, exactly what you affirmed, exactly what you felt, exactly what you expected, you will be celebrating it tomorrow evening, right? On the other hand, you can get up and expect the worst. You can get up tomorrow and expect that everything will go wrong. And so as a good friend of mine said, if you think it's right or you think it's wrong, you are right. It all starts right here in this gray matter. And I highly recommend that you listen to those 2 life lessons and employ them. Think big and then think even bigger. Your reality and your expectation live at the same address. We are going to be here at Everlasting Life in Capitol Heights every Thursday night from 7:30 until 9:30. And so we encourage any of you who are in the neighborhood, come by, visit with us. Dr. Pryor and I would like to sit down with you, share life lessons, listen to your dream plan, especially the young. If you're between 25 and 35, come by and visit with us. Come with your big idea. Come with your challenge. Even come with your crisis. We want to hear it from you. We'll sit down, we will listen to you, We will share with you. We will pray with you. We will envision with you. And then we'll come up with a plan of action. And you can either hold yourself accountable or you can work with Dr. Pryor. Nothing finishes off defeat like a try. There's something that you want to achieve in your life. There is something huge that's locked inside your heart and locked inside your mind. And so I say everything is possible and you deserve to live your dream life. So come and join us, my team of dream builders, as we have dinner together, as we share life lessons, as we look at each other's dream plan and lift it up so that it can prosper and succeed. This is Stan Matthews saying to you, wherever you are this evening, I thank you again for all of the birthday wishes this day. I am so grateful for this audience, for this community, for this expanded family, for my children, for Candace, my eldest, Andre, Elijah, and Jerry. To all of you, you are the heart of my heart. You are the love of my life. I thank you for the birthday greetings. I thank God for all four of you. Remember, family, there are two types of people in the world. Dreamers like me and like you and other people that you know, and dream killers. My advice to you, embrace the first and run like heck from the second. So until next Thursday, this is Stan Matthews of the Matthews Broadcast. This is the Dream Life broadcast here at Everlasting Life in Capitol Heights, Maryland, saying to you, good night and God bless.